Do you want to learn how to create some fun looking buttons like this? Buttons that you can get your Discord bot to send in your channels. Ones that when users click these buttons, it responds with an appropriate respective message. These buttons are a fun, cool way to spice up your Discord bot, to add a little fun to it. And that's what we're doing in today's video. Today's video is all to do with buttons. Hi friends, it's James and welcome back to my channel. And this is episode 5 in creating a Discord bot with Python. And today we're looking at something very cool which you've just seen in the introduction. Buttons. This video will cover everything that it is to do with buttons with Discord. Buttons are quite a cool and useful thing you can add to your bot. It's like a fun way for users of your bot to do certain actions that you might want them to do. And it's also just more fun looking if a button is appearing. So it's quite a useful thing for you to learn how to implement and use with your bot. So I don't want to keep you waiting, let's get started. Let's get into writing some code and showing you how you can add your own buttons to your bot. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we get a button to appear inside of Discord, how we get your bot to display a button down. There's a couple of ways you could do it, but a way we're going to do it here is by using slash commands, which I've talked about in the last couple of videos. The way we're going to do it is we're going to get it so when the user runs a slash command, our bot will display a button in response to it, a button in which the user can click. So, to do the slash command, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and copy a command we had made from the previous video. Go ahead and paste that. And all we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and update it. I'm going to give it the name of button and the description of displaying a button. Make sure you also update your function name inside. So in my case, I'm just going to go and give it the name of my button. And there you go. That's all you need to do for now. And now what we need to do is we need to write a class. And this class is for displaying the button. This class is going to get called when this slash command is run. To do this class, what we're going to do is we're going to type class and we're going to give it the name of view. And then inside of this, we're going to pass in discord.ui.view. What this is Discord's UI component of the package. It's all for the fun, cool, fancy UI features that your bot can do. And the first one we're looking at today is buttons, but however in a later episode we're going to be looking at other features that this UI component can do. So for example, drop downs and menus, which are quite exciting. And there's other ones as well which we'll be talking about, but that will be in a later video. So once you've created your view, you want to go ahead and we're going to type at discord.ui.button. Oh, I cannot spell. And this is a similar syntax to how we create the slash commands like this. However, for our case, it's for the button. So inside of this, we're going to be passing in a couple of things. We're first going to be passing in a label. And this label is what is going to be the text that is going to be displayed inside of the button. So in my case, I'm going to just give it the text of click me. Just like that. The next parameter we could pass in is the style. And this style is the color of your button. And this will give you quite a few different default colors in which you can use. You can see this now on the screen here. There's loads to choose from. In my case, we're going to go with the red one. So to do this, we type discord.buttonstyle.red. Just like that. However, you could choose anyone you want from the list. Next, we're going to give an emoji. You don't have to give an emoji if you don't want to, but in my case, I'm going to. I think it makes it a bit more fun. So emoji, and then you want to pass in your emoji that you want to use. So in my case, I'm going to pass in my favorite emoji, which has to be the fire one. Who doesn't love the fire emoji? And that's everything we need to pass in up here. Next, what we need to do is we need to write a function. And this function is going to get run whenever a user clicks the button. So to do this, we type async def button underscore callback. Button underscore callback is the name of the function that I've given it. And the reason I called it that is because it's the callback for when the button is clicked. And inside of this, we need to pass self, button, and interaction. And you have to make sure that you're passing these free in. If not, you will get an error. And then inside of this function, we're going to write what our bot is going to reply with. In our case, we just want to get it to reply with some text. To do this, we type await, then we type button dot response dot send underscore message, open and close brackets, and inside of your double quotations, you want to enter the text in which you want your bot to reply to send when the button is clicked. So in my case, I'm going to say, you have clicked the button. You don't have to get it to reply with some text. You can get it to reply with something else. Maybe you wanted it to reply with an image. Or maybe you wanted it to do something completely else. Maybe you wanted it to, I don't know, let's say send an API request to some service that you want. Or maybe you want it to just increment a counter, so it's some sort of log feature. Up to you. So you can see what I'm saying. The possibilities are endless. And whatever you want your button to do, all you have to do is put it inside of this function. And now what we need to do is we need to actually put this button view into the slash command, because we now need to tell this slash command that we want to print the button. So it's quite easy to do. All we have to do is this. All we want to do is we want to change just the text inside of here. And sorry, I don't mean text, I mean we're going to delete the text and we're going to add something. We're going to add view is equal to view, open and close brackets. And that is it. That's all you need to do to get a button to display. Now I'll quickly explain what's happening. So when we do the send underscore message, what it's going to do is it is going to send this view. And this view refers to this class we created up here. And inside of this class was the button that we've also just created with what will happen when the button is clicked. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's run it and let me show you what it looks like. So when you're inside of Discord, you want to go ahead and you want to run the slash command in which the button will be displayed. So the slash command we just created. So in my case, it was called button, just like this. So you can see here, just in my case here, I've got 2 buttons appearing, and that's just because I have a separate bot in this server called YouTube bot, which had the slash command button. However, for your case, you will most likely, if this is your first time developing a bot, and this is the first time having a slash command named button, you will only have 1 slash command here, so that should all be good for you. So go ahead, and when we run it, you can see this, look. Our bot has printed a button, and look how cool it looks. We've got the text click me with the fire emoji, which looks so cool. And watch this, when we click it, our bot replies with, you have clicked the button. How cool is that? You've now created your very first button for your Discord bot. How exciting. And as I said, there's such great potential in what you can do for when a user clicks this button. So you don't have to reply with some text. You can do loads of other things, which I mentioned previously. And I just wanted to show you, you can also get your bot to print more than 1 button in one go. So let me show you how to do this. Inside of our view here, in which we wrote our button code, what we're going to do is, all you want to go ahead and is you just want to copy this whole section of code we just wrote. And then you just go ahead and paste it below. Just like this. I'm going to paste it twice more. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to give these 2 new buttons that I've just created a different name. So I'm going to give it a label of second button. And for the last button, I'm sure you can guess, I'm going to give it a name of third button. I'm also going to go ahead and give it a different colour, just to spice it up a bit and just to show you what other buttons look like. I've also updated the emoji for the second one. I'm also now going to update the third emoji to a ghost, which is quite cool. And you can also go ahead and you can update what each button responds with. So just to show you the difference when we run it, I'm just going to update the text just so we know. So I'm going to say for this one, this is the second button. For the third one, I'm going to do something similar. This is the third button. Just like this. And so, as I said, because in our slash command, where we're telling the bot to print all of these buttons, we don't need to tell it about these extra 2 buttons we've created, because all of it's inside of this view. And this view relates to this class, which this class contains the extra 2 buttons we've just created. So all 3 buttons. So let me show you. Let's run this and let's see what it looks like. However, I've got an error just because I realised there's no button style called yellow. So I'm just going to change it to green. And just before we head to Discord to see this, I want to point out one thing which I've forgotten to tell you. You need to make sure when you want to display multiple buttons in the same view, you need to make sure you update the function names so they're all different. So you can see here how I've got 3 function names which are all the same. This means that when we used to run this code, what would happen is it would only display the last button, so this green one. So to fix this, all you need to do is just give these function names a different name. So in my case, I'm going to call it 2 underscore button callback and 3 underscore button callback, just so each of these have a different name. So if we run this and head to Discord, you can see what it looks like to display 3 buttons at the same time. So if we rerun the command, watch this. It displays 3 buttons. How cool is that? And watch this. If we click the first one, it will say you click the button. If we click the second one, this is the second button. Click the third one. This is the third button. How cool is that? It each prints its corresponding message based on which button the user clicked. A use case of this might be, is let's say you have some sort of roles channel for a server. So when a user joins your Discord server, maybe you want them to assign them a role based on which button they click. So for example, you could have it so you display this message once in the channel, and whenever a user joins, they can see this. And let's say third button related to keen members role, and they want to get that role, they can click that button and it would add that role to them. Or whatever you want it to do. You can see what I'm saying. But that's that. How cool is that? You created buttons for your Discord bot. And the possibilities are endless, as I keep on mentioning with them. But that's it. That's now everything to do with buttons. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've learned something new as well. If you have, please do consider giving this video a like, as it really helps it out in the algorithm. Also, if you had any problems when creating these bots, you've got some errors in your code that you don't know what you mean, feel free to join my Discord server. The link's down below in the description, and we'd be happy to help you out there. And while you're down there, why not consider subscribing? It's completely free and it helps me out a lot. But anyway, this has been James. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.